So I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the book written by Steven Strogatz called Infinite Powers. So it's this book right here, Infinite Powers by Steven Strogatz. And, you know, it's a pretty good book, particularly for beginners. So if you're a beginner studying mathematics, you know, calculus, beginner level calculus, or even just, any kind of math is still relevant, right? But the book is mostly about the history of calculus, how it came to be, and how it was basically synthesized by so many ideas from so many people throughout the ages. And when I talk about ages, I mean like thousands of years, right? Like starting from Archimedes, going to Galileo, and then going to Newton, and then nowadays we have a more rigorous and wide branch of mathematics that is based off of calculus, and then goes off to apply those ideas to more complex subjects that are characterized by more specific things. So like if you're talking about differential equations, it's one subject of its own, but it's still calculus. You can't tell me it's not calculus. It's calculus, right? It's just that they didn't want to call it calculus 4 or calculus 5 or whatever, just to give it meaning and to give it a better name, right? A more appropriate name, differential equations. Or when you're talking about vector calculus, right? Vector calculus, that's another one. Or analysis, real analysis. So all of those things are, based off of calculus. And, it's an amazing book. It talks about very nice, ideas. And even if you have experience, even if you learned calculus already, I think it's a very good book for looking at calculus from a different point of view that you might have never imagined. It's it's unbelievable how the book makes you think about how these ideas came to be. So and as I read the book, I was even more motivated to learn more mathematics. And it was amazing. But there was one chapter at the end. It was one chapter towards the end that just made me think about why should I keep learning mathematics, right? So it really made me question about what I do and what I like to do, in regards to mathematics and my mathematics education. And it was this chapter that he wrote that had to do with what he thought would be the future of mathematics, the future of calculus, right? Particularly. And calculus is amazing. It's everywhere in the world. Everywhere you see, technology, society, everything is governed by laws and expressions derived from calculus. And so that's thanks to calculus. So the world in which we live in today is thanks to calculus. But this chapter just really made my mind twig, and I just couldn't handle it, because it was talking about AI, right? AI in mathematics, and how particularly one part of the book, or that chapter, said that there could be a point in time, right, in mathematics history, when there could be like an oracle, right, that could tell you the answers to very complex nonlinear systems, right, of differential equations, and be able to answer any sort of question related to any field in science or economics or sociology or whatever, politics, whatever you call it, any field of study, which has mathematics, right? It's like what I think it was Aristotle who said, or Euclid. I don't know. Some dude, some Greek dude said all is number, and you know that's really what it is. It's everything is intrinsically described by mathematical relationships, and but the truth is the world is chaotic as it is, and so that's why the mathematics of the real world are more and more complex. The more you learn over time, right? The more books you stack on top of each other throughout the years, the more difficult, because truth is, reality is chaotic, right? Chaos is what reigns, and this chaos is pretty much described by nonlinear systems of equations. Nonlinearity is just a mess, right? It's really hard to come up with solutions to nonlinear systems, but AI can do it. So, you know, it really made me think, why should I keep on trying to solve mathematical problems that are almost impossible to do by you know, our minds, and just let the computers do it, you know? So pretty deep thinking there, by Stephen Strogatz, about the future of mathematics and the future of humanity. You know, there might be a point when AI will show you the theorems for the reasons through which it solved the mathematical problem that you're looking for, but you know, we humans would not be able to understand what's the theorem about, or what's the reasoning behind it, because it's just way too abstract for us and for our, you know, evolutionary capabilities to do that. So it's quite an interesting book. I truly recommend it, especially if you are a beginner. It's an amazing book.